Hello, this is April Perry with LearnDoBecome.com. Welcome to our 4 weeks to finished organized mindset audio series number 1. Today we are calling you on an adventure to get your mind organized in 4 weeks. I'm so excited that you're here. And all of the audios, the related links, all the things I'm going to be talking about are going to be hosted on one page, which can be found at LearnDoBecome.com/start today. Now, Eric also wanted me to create the URL LearnDoBecome.com/crush it. So both of those will take you to this audio series and all the related links. He also wanted /yeah baby, but I thought that was a little silly, so I'm not going to make that one. So it's /start today or /crush it. Either way, it's at LearnDoBecome.com. On this page, not only will you have all the audios and the links I'm going to talk about, but as part of this adventure, there are 3 options. Option number 1, if you want to totally get your mind organized in 4 weeks, is to join our 4 weeks to finished program. That will be linked on the page, or you can find it at LearnDoBecome.com/4 weeks. The second option is to go through the 8 modules of our Steps to Everyday Productivity program. So that's either a self-study or the mastery program that gives you a 1-month timeline to take you through those 8 modules, build the Command Central. Totally awesome, totally effective. That's just the next level we have for you. And then the third level is kind of like the play at home feature, which lists a collection of podcasts, videos, and resources that are totally free on our website that can help you build some great momentum. Our goal is to get our entire community moving in a positive direction because it is going to make the biggest difference for you when you feel your mind getting organized and calm and feeling so great. So again, that's at LearnDoBecome.com/start today or /crush it. All right, let's move ahead into audio number 1. As you're preparing to get your mind organized, it's really important that we look at the foundational beliefs. So the first one that I want to talk about is that the feelings of overwhelm are caused by the good in you. Sometimes when you're sitting in a big mess, whether it's physical or mental or digital clutter, it's easy to think a bunch of negative thoughts about yourself. Things like, I have really messed up, or I'm a failure, I don't do as well as everyone else, I should know how to manage all of this, I'm embarrassed, I'm angry with myself for being so behind. And then maybe you're thinking there's a certain person or a certain situation that made you this way. And we start feeling like, I'm a victim. I'll never get my feet under me. How did I let this happen? Those are thoughts that I've certainly had in the past. And these are things that you may be feeling, or you might have some other version of these types of feelings. But those thoughts are very, very normal. I'll just share a personal example. Recently, I went into our software account that manages all the behind the scenes here at Learn to Become. Those are things like our emails, all of our tags, and our management, how we deliver products, and all this stuff. Okay, so there's all of this software behind the scenes. And when I went in, it looked like a mess. There were mislabeled tags. There were some out-of-date campaigns. There were things that had been created incorrectly or had just sat stagnant for years. There's some things that had been broken that we hadn't fixed yet. And it was overwhelming. I mean, things generally are running, but as I looked back into the behind the scenes, it just felt a little bit like spaghetti. Now, part of me didn't even want to deal with it because of all of the thoughts and feelings that were accompanying that process. But deep down, I knew if I didn't step in and make some changes, then I wouldn't be able to move forward on my goals. That might be how you're feeling right now, even though you think, I'd rather just ignore all of the mess around me, and I'd rather just ignore the stuff that's not really fun to deal with. You know deep down that if you want to move forward on your goals personally or for your family or professionally or in your volunteer work, there needs to be a more solid sense of order, and your mind especially needs to feel calm and clear. So here are a few things to remember. You have done the best you could at each step. You never woke up and said, I think I'm going to ruin my environment. Or you never thought, I'm going to make this as messy as I possibly can, so I won't even want to look at it again. Or let's see what I could do to make my life really, really hard. You've done what was necessary to make things happen. As you reflect, I'm sure you can see that there were timely projects, short-term goals, problems you needed to solve quickly, emergencies you needed to handle, other people's issues that needed your attention, and things that came into your heart that you felt were a priority at the time. And sure, you might not have made every decision as wisely as you would now that you have more information or this hindsight. And yes, maybe you didn't set the boundaries you wish you'd set. And maybe you took on more than was possible for one human, and maybe you trusted someone who didn't deserve your trust. Or maybe you didn't allow enough buffer and then you got hit with something unexpected and you didn't have the bandwidth for it, which put you into survival mode. But at each step, you were doing what you felt would keep you safe, and you were making choices that made sense to you at the time. Now, you could also look back and say, well, I could have done more. I could have worked faster. I could have gritted my teeth and worked harder and smarter. But you needed rest and you needed downtime. And if you had kept going and going and going without a solid system to support you, you likely would have ended up feeling exhausted, and you wouldn't necessarily have even gotten the results that you were imagining. But you are here now at Learn to Become, and we're going to show you a new way to create order that will calm your mind and your heart. And it will give you that mental clarity you've been looking for. I am 100% confident in this. I've been doing this for more than a decade, and I wake up every morning thinking, how do I help people organize their minds? How can we get a command central on every desk? How can I help people feel this calm, beautiful sense of clarity and focus, even when things are hard and even when there's a lot going on? Nothing is wrong with you. If you've been putting things in piles or procrastinating or avoiding things that feel too complicated, that's totally natural. Our brains do the best that they can to maintain an equilibrium. It's just that that equilibrium that you have most likely isn't where you want it to be, because that's why you're here. So you're ready to raise it up so that your natural state is clean, organized, calm, put together, ahead of game. You can actually get there. Now, people will try to label you or themselves by saying things like, you're just not an organized person, you have a disorder, you're a procrastinator, you are broken. It is not true. Those labels are not permanent, and our brains can change. I grew up with piles and no routine or structure in how I accomplished tasks. But because I craved something that felt predictable, I worked really hard to figure it out. I have spent years and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours figuring this out. You can too, but it's not going to take you that long, because I'm here to help you and to show you how to make it happen in your life. But just to start out, we aren't going to come at this with shame and regret or anger. We're going to do what Dr. David Burns calls a positive reframe. Now, you could do this exercise by writing down all the feelings you have when you think about your current level of disorganization or mental or digital clutter. So let's say you have a sheet of paper. Okay, on the left, we write down how you're feeling. Let's describe it. Let's put some words. Are you anxious, hopeless, frustrated, angry, lonely, guilty? Are you feeling inferior? And then on the right, we're going to write down what good is represented by each of those feelings. And here's just some ideas. You really care. You recognize that where you are doesn't need to be your destiny. You know that you have distinct, unique skills that can bless your family, community, and the world, if only you could get out of the overwhelm. You can see that what was modeled for you or what you experienced in the past wasn't optimal. You recognize that the feelings you're having are causing a sense of isolation that doesn't need to be there. You see that other choices could have made a difference. You know you aren't where you're meant to be, and you're not doing what you're meant to do, which essentially means that you do have hope and optimism and beautiful desires in there that need to be released. It is the good in you that has caused the overwhelm you feel. And that is something to be joyful about. And once you really understand that, you're ready to move forward to audio number 2. So excited for you. Again, everything will be at learndobecome.com/start today. Or learndobecome.com/crush it. See you there.